You ever have one of those days when the world just slams the brakes on you for no reason? Yeah, I had one not too long ago, small town, Mississippi, bank lobby humming, sun bouncing off the glass, and I'm thinking I'll just pop in, deposit this check, maybe grab a coffee on my walk home. I'm Colonel Edward Murphy, 32 years Army, plenty of scars, some from places I can't even talk about. I don't lead with that, but I mention it now because, believe me, it matters for what's about to unfold. Now here's the hook. A bank teller named Stephanie Martinez shredded my disability compensation check from the United States Treasury, nearly $48,000, right in front of me. She thought it was fake. In less than 8 minutes, my everyday errand turned into a federal case. And I'll tell you, there's no training for the feeling when someone trashes your life's validation like it's a grocery store coupon. Let me back up a sec. That morning, my apartment was just as you'd expect: bed corners sharp enough to cut paper, ribbons aligned on the wall, coffee mug at a right angle. Discipline dies hard. The check was 3 years in the making, retroactive for injuries that still bark at me when the weather turns. 50 years to the day since I got my officer's commission, felt right to cash it. You know? I dressed sharp, khaki pants, white shirt, Navy windbreaker uniform, but not a uniform. On my walk to First National Trust, I passed Mrs. Santos, sweet lady, always fussing over grandkids and church news. "How's the arthritis, Colonel?" she asks. "Better, now that the VA finally paid up." I joke. She laughs, pats my arm like my late wife used to do, and we shuffle into the bank together, falling into that rhythm of small-town hellos. Martinez's window is next. She's maybe early 30s, hair pulled tight, smile tight too, like she's trying to please a supervisor who's always watching. "Morning, sir. How can I help?" I slide the check over with my deposit, slip everything filled out to the letter. She holds the check up to the light, turns it, feels the edges, then looks at me over her glasses. "This is quite a large amount, sir. May I ask what it's for?" "Disability compensation, retroactive, Vietnam." I answer. "You sure it's a real government check?" she asks, like I'm a high schooler trying to cash a note from Mom. I keep it civil, remind her it came straight from the Treasury, all the proper features, but she's already running her little UV lamp over it, typing numbers into the computer, frowning. People in line start shifting. Mrs. Santos gives me a sympathetic smile on her way out. Finally, Martinez comes back with a look that could freeze coffee. "Sorry, sir. There are too many irregularities. We can't process this. You'll need to request a new check from the VA." I say, "Are you refusing to deposit a legitimate Treasury check for a customer of 15 years? She doesn't blink, just says, "Bank policy." I ask for my check back. She says, "Can't do that. Policy requires us to retain suspicious documents." You know what I mean? That's the moment I realized she wasn't just doubting the paper, she was doubting me, my story, my whole damn life. I've disarmed bombs under fire and never felt so small. She's treating me like a con man, not a veteran. I asked to see the manager, Donna Rodriguez. She backs Martinez up, says their records don't match my check, and their hands are tied. By now, the line's a mess. The security guard, big guy, is eyeing me like he's waiting for me to throw a punch. All I can think is disengage, regroup. So I tell them, loud enough for everyone to hear, "You are confiscating a government check, and there will be consequences far beyond this branch." They look at me like I'm delusional. I walk out, every joint aching with humiliation, but there's steel in my back because I know exactly who to call. Out on the bench, sun on my face, I pull out my old address book, flip to a page marked with a red star: Joyce Williams, Treasury Secretary. We go way back. Mekong Bridge, 1987, I pulled her out of the fire, literally. She owes me one. I call her direct line. Her deputy picks up, and I drop the whole story. Bank shredded a legit Treasury check, refused to return it, try to make me beg for my own money. He puts me straight through. Joyce's voice, after all these years, is still sharp as a bayonet. She gets the facts, tells me to sit tight. Within 2 hours, federal agents are on their way. The full Inspector General's office, Treasury Compliance, even the office of the Comptroller. If Martinez thought I was bluffing about consequences, she's about to learn the difference between a policy mistake and a federal violation. Here's the twist. While I'm outside, Mrs. Santos comes back. She sees me sitting, asks if everything's okay. I brush it off, but she insists on checking in with Martinez. That tiny act human kindness ends up featured on local news, turning public sympathy my way before the feds even arrive. Inside, you can feel the walls closing in. Martinez and Rodriguez start getting calls from their compliance office, then from federal agencies. Did you verify with the Treasury hotline before destroying the check? Rodriguez asks. Martinez realizes too late she skipped that step. Policy manual or not, destroying government property without full verification? That's a crime, not a procedure. Security guard hears on his radio that federal law enforcement is mobilizing downtown. Rodriguez tells him to check the cameras, keep everyone in place, brace for what's coming. And believe me, they come in force black sedans, credentials flashing, cameras rolling. Martinez goes pale when she sees me outside talking with Agent Thompson, Treasury Inspector General, like old friends at a reunion. She realizes then, this isn't just a customer complaint, it's the big leagues now. The investigation is clinical evidence, interviews, policy manuals reviewed line by line. They find out Martinez had never been trained on federal verification. Rodriguez had never coordinated policy with actual Treasury standards. The corporate HQ had never updated their manuals to match federal law. Turns out, they've been teaching their staff to break the law for years and never knew it. Agent Thompson is thorough. She interviews me, Martinez, Rodriguez, the security guard, even Mrs. Santos. The evidence piles up. Systemic failure. Not just one person's bad judgment. My replacement check is processed electronically within hours, but the fallout for the bank? Massive. Their CEO resigns. The branch is put under federal oversight. Martinez and Rodriguez are placed on leave, then face misdemeanor charges destruction of government property, supervisory negligence. But the feds see the bigger picture. These women weren't criminals, just pawns in a system that failed everyone. The town is buzzing news, crews, veterans groups, even Congress gets involved. The case triggers nationwide reforms in how banks handle government checks. Staff training changes everywhere. My story ends up in testimony before the House Veterans Affairs Committee. And you know what? I didn't want this fight. I just wanted my money and a little respect. But maybe that's the point sometimes. Standing your ground isn't just about you. It's about everyone coming after you. And sometimes, a single phone call can drag an entire system into the daylight, for better or worse. So here's where I'll leave you. Was Martinez the villain? Or just someone left holding the bag for her boss's ignorance? Did justice get served? Or did we just slap a Band-Aid on a bigger wound? You tell me, because in the end, this isn't just my story. It's about how we treat the people who serve and what happens when institutions forget that one bad day for you can be the wake-up call for everybody else. Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts below. Who is right? Who is wrong? And how do we fix a system that's supposed to serve everyone, but sometimes fails the very folks it's meant to protect? If you made it this far, you know this story matters. Subscribe for more, because next time, the stakes might be even higher in your voice. Yeah, it counts.